As Yiji was an excellent student, everybody wanted to make friends with her. However, she wasn't cocksure about it. She was willing to help people. When Dongu was having lunch in the school canteen, Dongu was unheard so that he was always alone. He was naive and weak, a frequent prey of bullies. While Dongu was enjoying lunch, a handsome bully picked a quarrel with him. Dongu daren't speak or react to his insult and derision. Other students in the canteen were talking about this handsome bully. No one protected him. When he was about to eat like a pig under duress, Yiji stopped him. She helped Dongu get away from the jerk. Yiji took a selfie. The bully got scared and begged her. Because he was member of a famous gang at school. If she posted, his future would be ruined. That was the reason why he got scared. However, Yiji didn't take a photo of him. She took a photo with Dongu and told everyone he was her friend. That even scared the bully even more. He couldn't believe that his crush made friend with a fat boy. The bully lost all his confidence. That also made other students thought Dongu had a special relationship with Yiji. They surrounded Dongu to ask about it. Suddenly became famous, Dongu felt a little bit victorious. They considered the bully invisible. Dongu was very grateful to Yiji. He gave her money as a thank. Subin was playing piano at the school's theater. He was Yiji's crush. Even though they were not actually together, when other girls teased Subin, Yiji knew he was not close to her. Subin asked Yiji for a talk after being awarded. He had something to tell her. Subin refused when his friend said a girl wanted to see him. He kept talking with Yiji. For this reason, Subin's friend told everyone Subin and Yiji were dating. Yiji wished it was true. She clearly knew that they were childhood friends. When they were 11th graders, Subin held Yiji's hand once. Yiji thought he had feelings for her. Someone posted the video of the moment online, making everyone thought they were a couple. After that, Subin went public with their relationship. Seeing how much Subin cared for Yiji, the girls bandied about them. Yiji wanted to tell everyone they really were a couple. After recording a video of their talk, Yiji it was the right time to set a relation. Yet, Subin rejected her love confession with a cold face. After a night of self-healing, Yiji realized he never liked her. The following day, she told Subin she moved on. They talked like friends. Not love between a girl and a boy. Coming to her class, she told her friend that they were just childhood friends. Her friends acted as experts and explained it to her. However, Yiji didn't care about their talk. She put on her lipstick. Her action attracted Daeun's attention. They stopped talking about Yiji and Subin. Daeun made an excuse of the lipstick to talk about art. Yiji wondered with whom Daeun would go to the festival. Daeun was like, I don't know. The boy next to her suggested that she should play piano with Subin. Daeun had a small change. It was the first time she put on lipstick. Sae Na came to the toilet and saw Daeun. Instead of paying attention to Daeun's embarrassment, she told Daeun to put on makeup and be confident. And she just left. Daeun wasn't happy with that. She was so sad when Subin was with Yiji. What was coming would be a good news for her. When Subin asked Yiji out, she dressed up because she thought he would confess his love to her. When Subin began to speak, she thought she could be with him. However, Subin actually had feelings for Daeun. Yiji couldn't believe it. Yiji was unhappy when he had a crush on Daeun. Confirming again that he really had no feelings for her, Yiji decided to get her revenge on him. Yiji's beautiful dream broke when he said he liked Daeun. That was a severe hurt to her heart. She would take a long time to recover. During her sleep, she got a message from her classmate. She locked the phone when he asked about her love affair. Next morning at school, Yiji was alone in front of the school building. Subin covered her face from the sun, an action that boyfriends did. His action confused Yiji. She wondered why he liked Da-eun but still cared about her. It was even more painful for her. The way he looked at Da-eun made Yiji felt like she was a redundant person. She was numbed with grief seeing Soo-bin's love for Da-eun through his eyes. Joo-hyuk also had feelings for his close friend. Gazing at her from afar, Joo-hyuk was both happy and sad. For a while, he tried to find a way to conquer her heart. Joo-hyuk asked Yiji about her problem. She was deep in lovelorn. So she didn't answer him. On the contrary, Joo-hyuk was full of hope. A news spread breaking the silence in the class. Their talk was interrupted. Everyone shifted their attention to something else. They were so excited when Dongu entered into a contract. Looking at his clothes, they were sure that he was accepted to a talent company. It was thanks to Yiji's help. His classmates said he should help them. Yiji only thought of Soo-bin at that time. She was in pain when Soo-bin showed his care to Da-eun. During a class, Yiji only recalled the moment. More details appeared in her mind. Soo-bin said he had a crush on Da-eun. And he even asked Yiji to help him give Da-eun his love letter and post about their relationship online. Yiji disagreed with his request and left in anger. Yiji met Da-eun in the toilet during the playtime. They had a short talk. Da-eun was about to thank Yiji for giving up on Soo-bin. Yiji left without saying a word. Dongu bragged about his position with C&J. C&J only focused on producing music on his PC. Yiji kept being involved in a confusing situation. She and her friend encountered Soo-bin at a cafe. Sae-na thought she bothered the lovebird. They looked kind of shy. So Sae-na made an excuse to leave. However, Da-eun's appearance surprised Sae-na. Yiji turned away when Da-eun and Soo-bin planned to attend the Festival of Art together. Soo-bin ran after Yiji. It was the first time she sulked for the last 10 years. Yiji was no longer moved when he touched her hand. Soo-bin let her go of her hand when she insulted him. Sae-na and Da-eun came when the atmosphere was tense. Soo-bin went away with Da-eun. Memories with Soo-bin flooded into Yiji's head. She couldn't get why he liked such a normal girl. Yiji ran after Soo-bin to ask for the reason. But he gave her an indifferent explanation. Yiji turned to hate him. To comfort herself, she planned to revenge. When Yiji was in a severe situation, Dongu was very happy. He was disrespected at the talent company. He was stressful facing the manager. So he lowered himself and spoke in flattering terms of his boss. In reality, he was tricked into working as a hotel waiter. A friend of C&J told him that Dongu was working at a talent company. C&J didn't care about it at first. So he continued doing his work. When everyone knew Dongu was fooled, he was bullied by the same guys again. Yiji saw Dongu was being bullied. And she was going to help him out, but C&J did it first. After chasing the bullies away, C&J told Yiji to delete the photo with Dongu on her SNS. Yiji refused. C&J scolded her. Then he took Dongu away. To protect Yiji's honor, Dongu said he willingly gave her money and thanked her in front of everyone. Yiji was touched by his sincerity. The teacher dispersed the crowd. Due to the negative influence of this incident, the teacher asked Yiji and C&J for talk. C&J was criticized for skipping classes frequently. The teacher expressed his disappointment about Yiji. That was why she claimed to attend the Festival of Art. After school, Yiji wanted a talk with C&J. She would delete the photo as long as he came to the Festival of Art with her. C&J wasn't interested in her offer. Yiji didn't let him go. She tried hard to persuade him. Yiji would help him if he became her partner. C&J still refused because he loved being alone. That wasn't the answer Yiji wanted. Still, she didn't let him go. Not until when she expressed her respect to his music skills that he agreed to be her partner. Yiji and Su-bin were like day and night. Yiji dared to love to hate, while Su-bin was greedy in love. On a beautiful day, Sae-na appointed to see someone at a park for an exchange. Sae-na saw Da-eun and called her name. Turns out the seller was Da-eun. Both of them were surprised. Sae-na wanted to buy a purse. She had her eye for a purse, but it was pricey. After a negotiation, she was happy when the seller gave her a discount. They agreed to meet in person for the trade. That was why they met there. Da-eun gave it to Sae-na for free because they were friends. Yet, Sae-na changed her attitude when she knew Da-eun was the seller. She disparaged Da-eun's purse and cancelled the trade. By the reason of her shame, Su-bin got into a trouble. He was playing piano at a bar. The boss paid attention to him. He wanted to talk to Su-bin about his payment. They had words with each other. As Su-bin was hiding his identity, he expected to be paid in cash. The boss disagreed with that complicated method. He suspected Su-bin was a high school student, so that Su-bin accept a bank transfer. Leaving the bar, he bought Yiji a carton of milk as usual. However, Yiji just left. Su-bin asked Yiji where she was going. She didn't tell him. Meanwhile, C&J stayed at home, skipping a class. Yiji woke up C&J, who was lying on the sofa. She kept bothering him, then being kicked out of his room. Yiji still bothered him from outside, by making noise to wake him up. Finally, C&J opened the door. However, she still came to school alone. Yiji's friends felt sorry for her when C&J didn't come to school with her. Su-bin then knew why Yiji no longer cared for him. Sae-na and Ju-hyuk talked a lot. They both were talkative and humorous. That made Yiji bored. When she saw Su-bin and Da-eun talk together, she got very jealous. So, she kept coming to C&J's place and waiting outside. Though Yiji didn't bother him at all, C&J was still about to scold her. Yiji covered his mouth. Yiji made him to leave his place. Following Yiji, they stopped at school. Yiji thought of a new way to handle when C&J didn't go to school. She hailed a taxi, ordered C&J to open the door, and pushed him in. C&J was taken to Yiji's hideaway. He saw a mess there. Turns out Yiji took him there to clean the place. C&J wanted to leave, yet, the farmer blocked his way and Yiji stopped him, couldn't leave the place. C&J tidied up seriously. When Su-bin knew Yiji and C&J hung out together, he got jealous but couldn't do anything. Feeling sad, he played piano with Da-eun. But he couldn't stay focused. They both had something in their mind. They stopped playing. C&J and Yiji got along well with each other, though they weren't a couple. They happily talked about everything without concealment. Talking about milk, C&J began to have feelings for Yiji. Yiji encountered Su-bin at school. He bought Yiji a carton of milk as usual. Yiji said nothing and went straight into her class. Su-bin followed her. Da-eun was sitting on Yiji's seat. Seeing the two of them together, she understood that they were still together. When Ju-hyuk asked Yiji if C&J would come to the Festival of Art. When Yiji said it was possible, Su-bin looked kind of tense. When the teacher arrived, everyone submitted the application. Sina and Ju-hyuk practiced their performance. Yiji said she would take part in. When the teacher wondered who would be her partner, everyone was about to say it was Su-bin. Yet, their teacher said Su-bin should make a team with Da-eun. When three of them felt very awkward, C&J appeared to submit his application. All students received a text message. They all stuck their eyes on the phones. Su-bin fell into despair because he had always played the piano very well for years. The boss paid attention to him. Before Su-bin left, his boss mentioned one thing. Back to the message sent to Soo-bin. It was a photo of the bar where he was working at. To keep his identity from being revealed, Soo-bin daren't refuse De-eun. Because De-eu was the one who sent it. CNJ came to the class to cancel his cooperation with Yiji. To break the connection between Soo-bin and Yiji, she intentionally sent a video of a talk between her and Soo-bin to everyone. Everyone in the class received the same message. Seeing De-eun and Soo-bin in the video, they all thought De-eun and Soo-bin were in love with each other. When he knew she sent them another video, he regained his spirit as his secret wasn't exposed. In fact, 6 months before, De-eun said she knew Soo-bin was working at a bar. As De-eun liked Soo-bin, she helped him keep it a secret on one condition. Soo-bin didn't compromise. Talking to the bar's owner, De-eun was told that Soo-bin was in need of money. She said she could help, but Soo-bin refused. At night, Soo-bin texted his boss that he would get there for work. Soo-bin used his piano skill to convince the boss that he was a college student who needed a part-time job. Though having money to pay tuition fee, Soo-bin was afraid of being exposed. So when Yiji confessed her love to him in the park, Soo-bin rejected her love because he was in so many troubles. He couldn't stay with her although he really liked her. From then on, he could only gaze at her from afar. As Soo-bin couldn't take his eyes off Yiji, De-eun took an action. She said the teacher asked to see them. To provoke Yiji, De-eun held Soo-bin's arm. Yiji saw them getting out of the class with sad eyes. Knowing how sad she was, CNJ took her out for a stroll. De-eun and Soo-bin told the teacher about their preparation. The teacher accidentally mentioned CNJ and Yiji. He said they got along well with each other. That upset Soo-bin. When CNJ and Yiji were strolling around the school, an older schoolmate asked to see Yiji at night. Sae-na came with Yiji, leaving Ju-hyuk alone. The festival was coming, Yiji needed a performance. So she found CNJ for a song. CNJ felt annoyed at first. Even so, he agreed when Yiji promised to write lyrics. CNJ doubted Yiji's abilities. She claimed she could write about her own feelings. CNJ had feelings for Yiji. He left his own room when Yiji mentioned her crush. Paying no attention to him, Yiji kept writing lyrics. Ju-hyuk looked at his schoolmates. He imagined their praises for him. Getting under a character, he acted as a melancholy prince. He imagined that they were admiring his handsome face. At the dance studio, other boys were dancing. Ju-hyuk was brought back to reality. He got jealous when Sae-na kept her eyes on a boy. Instead of mocking at his love rival, he improved his image. He didn't find a way to attract Sae-na's attention. When Sae-na complimented on that boy, Ju-hyuk felt so impatient. Ju-hyuk knew how to catch Sae-na's attention, which was to learn dancing. He practiced dancing alone at the studio. Despite being exhausted, he kept encouraging himself. Yiji dozed off when writing lyrics for her song. CNJ came home and saw her. As CNJ was depressed, he took the pills and dropped off to sleep on his sofa. CNJ dreamed about his scary experience in the past. Waking up from a nightmare, CNJ didn't regain his calmness until Yiji humming a song. Meantime, Soo-bin was practicing a piano song. De-eun confessed her love to him. She wished them to be a couple. Soo-bin was surprised. It was not only about them. CNJ began to have feelings for Yiji. Yiji turned around and faced CNJ. Both of them seemed to have feelings for each other. CNJ praised her song. Yiji was too amazed to react to it. Because Soo-bin had a crush on De-eun, she hung out with CNJ to get even with Soo-bin. Yiji then left in hurry. CNJ received a text from his ex. CNJ felt good when she got better. However, he recalled his past scandal that he saw online. It was a big number of interactions and many of them criticized him. He was mostly bashed by netizen. Soo-bin was alone in the class. He thought of his teacher's recommendation on teaming up with Yiji. Sae Na came to pick something, which got him off his thoughts. She told him Yiji was going to see an older schoolfellow. Soo-bin then asked for Yiji's address. Yiji met the older schoolfellow in a retired place. Soo-bin showed up in the middle of their talk. Instead of talking to Soo-bin, she continued a conversation with the older one. He knelt in front of Yiji. She asked him to stand up. He teared up and said he was fired from the company. Despite being fired for his fault, he considered himself a victim without being sorry for bullying others. Soo-bin was about to punch this jerk, but Yiji stopped him. She promised to help as long as he apologized Dongu. After that, Yiji chatted with Soo-bin. Soo-bin only looked at her without saying a word. She couldn't help if he said nothing. Soo-bin finally opened his mouth. Yiji let him hug her. As Soo-bin felt unwell, she played with him at a park. After a while of playing around, Soo-bin still wasn't ready to tell her. She raised her 5 fingers and required him to choose, which reminded him of their promise. Yiji told him each finger carried an emotion. Remembered the meanings of each finger, Soo-bin pointed at a finger which meant sorry. The owner's call interrupted when Yiji was about to ask why he was sorry. Soo-bin took a few steps away to pick up the phone. Instead of answering Yiji's question about the caller, Soo-bin told her to wait there. That was confusing, yet, Yiji still listened to him. A long while later, she decided not to wait. However, he couldn't pick up her phone during work. He destined to see Yiji after work. The bar owner didn't want Soo-bin to quit his job, so he didn't accept Soo-bin's resignation. Yiji was alone in the park. C&J called to ask when she would come home. Not until then that Yiji thought of him. As Soo-bin hadn't come back yet, she told C&J not to wait for her. He said he would wait until she come back, anyhow. Getting out of the bar, Soo-bin cried alone at a corner rather than coming back for her Yiji. Daeun and Yiji kept calling him. He put his phone aside and kept crying. A while later, Soo-bin fell asleep at that corner, so he didn't know Yiji was calling. At that point in time, Daeun came to him. Yiji was calling Soo-bin, but Daeun picked up the phone. Daeun's voice astounded Yiji. She asked Daeun about Soo-bin. Daeun only said she would take care of him. Daeun also recalled memories with Soo-bin and their relationship was finally resolved. Soo-bin asked Daeun for helping him pay tuition fee. That was why he did a part-time job to pay her back. Daeun fell for Soo-bin in the first year of high school. As Daeun was good at playing piano, Yiji introduced her to Soo-bin. She said he also loved playing piano. That was how Daeun fell for Soo-bin. Also the first time she touched him. Yiji was a good girl and everyone had fondness for her. Many students sent her letters. When her reputation grew bigger and bigger, Sae Na was bullied and she asked for Yiji's help. However, Yiji didn't help her. Sae Na was the first one to give Yiji money, which annoyed Yiji, so she didn't want to help Sae Na. A while later, Sae Na expressed her discontent in a letter. After reading the letter, Yiji came to see Sae Na. It wasn't for scolding Sae Na. Yiji took a selfie with Sae Na. That helped Sae Na get away from being bullied. Yiji paid Sae Na back. On the briefing sessions for freshmen, they took turn to introduce themselves. When it was Yiji's turn to introduce herself on the stage, Yiji was known for her beautiful voice. To make the session more interesting, they all requested Yiji to sing. When Yiji started singing, everything was going very well. Suddenly, someone turned off her micro. A photo of nude Yiji was on the screen. They all were astonished and Yiji was stunned. Soo-bin turned off the screen, but it was too late. Back to the present, Daeun picked up Yiji's call on behalf of Soo-bin. After Daeun hung up the phone, Yiji made another phone call and be ignored, so she came back to CNJ's place. Yiji was sorry for making CNJ wait. Trying to keep calm, Yiji sat next to CNJ. She coughed to attract his attention. CNJ teased her. She felt relieved when CNJ didn't reproach her for taking so long. And she recorded the song. The first recording failed due to her bad mood. She got back in mood and successfully recorded the song. CNJ wallowed in her beautiful voice. The following day at school, he asked Yiji about Soo-bin. Yiji couldn't tell him clearly about her relationship with Soo-bin. Sae Na rickied her ankle while dancing. Talking to her teacher in the office, Sae Na was told to be granted a full scholarship for the next year. She was very happy. Yet, she still lacked some points. Though she didn't know who named her in the letter of recommendation. She was very pleased. Sae Na told Yiji about that. Daeun bothered them. Being amazed by Daeun's congratulation, Sae Na still thanked her. Other classmates doubted it in lieu of being happy for Sae Na. Sae Na thought she was lucky. However, Daeun said it was her help. Sae Na changed her attitude to Daeun. Yiji stopped Sae Na from fighting. Sae Na was so discontent with Daeun. She left the class after offending Daeun. Daeun was extremely annoyed with Sae Na, a poor girl who dared to offend her. Yiji questioned Daeun about Soo-bin. They turned from classmates to rivals speaking of him. Yiji supposed that Daeun promised to take care of him, though she didn't know where he was. Daeun said she was with him when he was in trouble. Yiji left in anger. Sae Na ran towards Ju Hyuk. He was opening a bottle of water. Sae Na grabbed and drank it. When the thirst disappeared, Sae Na regained her breath. And cursed at Daeun. Ju Hyuk danced in a funny way to make her laugh. He looked so silly. And it really made her more comfortable. God was helping this foolish boy. Sae Na had feelings for Ju Hyuk. He wasn't handsome in her eyes, yet, his dance didn't annoy her. At night, Daeun was alone at home and prepared a revenge on Yiji. She ordered someone to dig into the relation between Yiji and CNJ. On the day of the art competition, attendees gathered in the mass media center. Yiji kept looking at Soo-bin's seat as he hadn't come yet. She felt so worried and on the tenterhooks. CNJ knew she was waiting for Soo-bin. Got jealous, but CNJ still accepted the truth. The attendees took turn to perform. When it was Sae Na's turn, she finished her performance in a beautiful way. Yiji and CNJ took the last turn. Due to the impact of past incident, Yiji wasn't confident enough to get on the stage. CNJ was okay if she gave up, yet, Yiji was very unyielding. Overcoming her fear, she stood on the stage. Facing the audience, CNJ knew Yiji felt tense. So he told her to look at him. Thanks to his advice, Yiji no longer felt tense up. When she stabilized her emotion, he began to play piano. Beautiful but hard to meet someone like my beloved. Their performance were highly regarded. When everyone was shouting for encouragement, Daeun got the show on the road. Someone helped her hack the music system. Bad things about Yiji and CNJ were on the speaker. The recording confused Soo-bin suddenly came towards Daeun. He didn't want Yiji to suffer another affront. He turned off Daeun's phone. Soo-bin scolded her, "You're so mean." Yiji was touched when Soo-bin came for her. Yiji did get pissed off when she knew it was Daeun who sabotaged her. However, she was more concerned about people's gossip. Teacher asked Yiji for a talk before she could say anything. Soo-bin couldn't do anything. Ju Hyuk was also put in a trouble. He was in a video with other trainees. He always showed his best in front of the camera. Unwittingly, he put all the others in the shade. That was why they hated Joo Hyuk. Everyone hid their hate for him in front of the camera, which turned Joo Hyuk a discreet person. After the practice, he said sorry and promised to try harder. The guy in white gave Joo Hyuk a scolding. In the opposite, the guy in black encouraged Joo Hyuk. The boy in white said they could drink as the manager wasn't there. Joo Hyuk had never drank before, so he refused. The guy in white grew cross. Joo Hyuk was seduced by the guy in black and drank the entire glass of liquor. It was his first time to drink and he lost control. Joo Hyuk was bullied many times. When the other two bullies left the company, they watched the video on their phones and laughed. Sae Na heard two guys talking about Joo Hyuk. She then went to find him. Joo Hyuk wasn't of sound mind. The other filmed him to destroy his reputation. The guy in black showed himself in his true colors. He said he was not pleased with Joo Hyuk. That was his plan. Sae Na showed up out of the blue, freaking the bullies. She already recorded a video of them. They covered his face and left. Sae Na came in time, saving Joo Hyuk from being damaged. Yiji was listening to music and walking in the campus. CNJ took her earphone. Amazed by CNJ's teasing, Yiji pinched his cheeks. The talk between them became unclear. To make it less sheepish, Yiji kidded CNJ. CNJ decided to confess his love to her. Yiji was stupefied by his confession. Somehow CNJ walked away before she said a word. Standing from afar, Subin saw how CNJ's love confession made Yiji smile. He knew he lost the chance to be with her and decided to leave school. Before leaving the school for good, Subin told Daeun that they wouldn't meet again. Daeun was speechless. Her mind was flooded with memories between them. Subin paid her back and made a break with her. He then asked to see Yiji at the park. As a farewell, Subin told Yiji everything between him and Daeun. Yiji forgave him. Taking the chance, he confessed his love to her. Yiji thought they could finally be together. A while later, the farewell party to Subin dumbfounded Yiji. She was like a lost soul when he left. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't reach him on the phone. After that, Yiji asked Daeun for a talk at school. Yiji hung out with CNJ after Subin left. Daeun was all alone when she trod on everyone's corns. Though everything was over, they had been hurt both physically and mentally. As one of two lucky people in this story, Sae Na won the first prize. And Joo Hyuk got the popular award. Sae Na began to like the look of Joo Hyuk. Standing at the door, Sae Na saw Daeun giving lipsticks to a few girls. Sae Na looked unhappy, yet, she didn't want to confront Daeun. However, Daeun came for a talk with Sae Na. They were fine talking about Joo Hyuk. But when Daeun said Sae Na won the prize thanks to her help, the atmosphere seemed to vibrate with tension. Getting what Daeun meant, Sae Na said it was easy for her to win the prize. She then mocked at Daeun for giving lipstick to everyone in class to angle for their hearts. Losing temper, Daeun said Sae Na was an ungrateful beggar. That was out of line. Sae Na said she didn't ask for Daeun's help. She knew Daeun had someone do all those. When Sae Na sneered at Daeun's dependence on her parents, Daeun asked Sae Na to pay back her scholarship. Sae Na swore when realizing she had been fooled. Daeun held the initiative. Knowing Sae Na couldn't pay her back, Daeun insulted Sae Na. They started to discriminate each other. When Yiji tried to dissuade them, Daeun pushed her to the ground. Yiji got furious and gave Daeun a slap. Daeun acted as a victim who had nothing left. Yiji tried to make Daeun acknowledge her faults. After that, she left without a look back. When the conflict ended, the people around also dispersed. After clearing the feud with Daeun, Yiji went to the park and stuck her eyes at Subin's photos. She thought it was Subin who gave her a carton of milk. That was CNJ instead. so she wanted to pay him for the milk. Knowing she still thought of Soo-bin, CNJ told Yiji about his talk with Soo-bin. Before leaving school, Soo-bin came to see CNJ. CNJ didn't welcome him at first. Yet, CNJ still let him in and talk. CNJ got annoyed and interrupted Soo-bin's talk. It was obvious that CNJ disliked Soo-bin. Soo-bin said Yiji loved to hear what he just said. He asked CNJ to help him tell her those words. When CNJ told her about that, Yiji understood that he would never come back. However, CNJ was pursuing her heart. Yiji was on the fence. The older schoolmate appeared. He showed her the one who faked her nude photo. At first, he didn't care who that was. But when he heard someone mentioning him, he began to care. Finally, Yiji found out who faked her nude photo. She refused to make a deal with him. Then she posted the video online to prove her innocence. As Yiji had a large number of followers, her post gained good social interactions. They also knew the truth. A few months later, Yiji came back to her peaceful life though Soo-bin wasn't there. Yiji later became a famous streamer. She usually interacted with her fans online by singing for them. As CNJ and Yiji couldn't be together, he kept producing music at the school's music room. They still asked after each other as friends. When Yiji was going live, singing a song, it was like an emotional resonance in relationship that CNJ played the same one at his band's performance. As always, Yiji checked on the letters from her closet. Though being so sad when Soo-bin went away, Yiji gotta live her life. She kept going live. Also, she came to the music hall. Soo-bin also got there for Yiji. To surprise her, he walked up to her and held her little finger. Yiji had eyes on her crush, who was holding her little finger. Yiji knew he was expressing his love. The end. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.